Hello and welcome to another episode of Origin Spotlight. As always, I am your host, Zelda. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm joined by an incredible human being who I'm very excited to talk about for 1,000 reasons, but we'll get into those reasons. So Donna, hello, how are you?
Hi there. I am great. I'm so happy to be here.
Oh my goodness. So if you want to give folks just a little, like a one sentence explanation of what exactly do you do?
Okay. Well, it's got a lot of things.
Two sentence, maybe.
Two sentence, maybe. So I am the community director for Catan Studio, and we are the English language publisher of Catan. And so my job consists of any kind of streaming, any kind of events, tournaments, all kinds of fun stuff like that.
That's really exciting. I want to ask, like, how did you get into this? But we won't jump into that yet. We're going to jump into the meat of it all, which is Origins Game Fair, which is coming up very soon, y'all. If you haven't already registered, there's some due dates that you need to consider. I'm going to pull those up right now. We've got late submissions for events, which is due like tomorrow.
31st.
31st. How many days in this month do we have? There's 2 more, right?
It's 29th today. So yeah. I'm working really hard to get all of our events submitted.
That's not easy. I feel like you probably have a lot. Catan is
we do.
Everybody wants to play that.
Well, I hope so. I hope we get a lot of traffic in there. I mean, we always have lots of people when they come by the booth, or we have our own ballroom that we do events in. And so we always get a lot of people who come by and say hi, and see what's new and check it out.
I think it's going to be very busy this year.
Yeah.
As well for folks, we have the club application completion deadline, which is in 2 days as well. We've got the volunteer registration deadline coming up May 4th, and event registration opens. This is what everybody's interested. It opens, which means you can pick the events that you want to go to, and that is happening May 21st at 1 p.m. Eastern. Put that in your brain, put that on your calendars, put that in your watches. It's going to be what you want to look for. So speaking of events, what kind of events does Catan set up? Do you set up games, demos? What else?
Well, we're doing things a little bit different for anybody who's visited our booth in our event space before. And we're not going to be doing demos in our booth, but we are going to be showing off some prototypes and some stuff we have not told anyone about. So it's really good to come by and say hello to our staff. And then we'll also be selling the latest Catan merchandise. So all of our licensed merchandise, you'll be able to buy games, all that's going to be available in our booth. And then our event area, we used to have a lot of floor games in there, but it was harder because, they're on the floor. They're not as accessible to everyone. And it's harder to find people to get into a game by just walking up, and they take a really long time. So we have a lot of people who really want to learn how to play Catan over having like a 10-minute demo. So we're actually going to have a whole bunch of learn to play. So we'll be doing learn to play Catan, Catan Junior. We've put a teaser out for Catan Dawn of Humankind. So we'll be letting people get their hands on that for the first time. Starfarers. We've got, if you are really a big Cities and Knights fan for the Cities and Knights expansion, we're going to have the Legend of the Conqueror. So you'll be able to see that. And just a bunch of really fun stuff that we don't necessarily get to show off because it's not brand new. Mm-hmm. So you wouldn't see it in the booth, but people still want to learn how to play.
Oh my gosh, that appeals to me. First off, I've lost every single time I played that game. I know I can win. I'm not playing the right people. So an intro or a demo, that it really appeals to me because that might teach me the skills to actually win against my peers.
Yeah, we'll have people that sit down and will play the game with you. So if, let's say, 2 people show up, is that they'll sit down with you and actually walk you through the game, or teach your party of 4 how to play the game or whatnot. And then we'll have a little bit of a lending library. So if you come on by, you'll be able to take a game and take it to a free table. We're also going to demo out the first time. Well, not demo, but we're going to bring to the everybody knows we do tournaments, but there are these large tournaments, and I'll talk about that. But we're going to be launching 2 new tournaments because people want a more casual tournament experience that could be like all ages and things like that. So we're going to have 1 casual Catan tournament and 1 Cities and Knights tournament. So it's going to be a lot quicker than our full day national championship stuff. So you can come in and compete, see how you like competition, and then maybe you can join us in our Catan National Championship program, which is really cool.
I love tournaments in general. I think like old school anime as a kid really made me fall in love with the idea of tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't often win at them, but I will watch them till the day I die. I just love like the camaraderie, the competition, the appeal. What do you win? Do you win anything, or is it just the satisfaction of kicking ass?
This is fun. So when we always talk about the national program, people sometimes don't think, they're just like, oh, well, I'd never win. But if you think about it, when you win, and if you're the national champion, like if you're this year's national champion, you're going to get a trip to Malta in the Mediterranean in November, courtesy of us.
Oh, goodness.
Yes.
That's incredible.
We have a program where people can go qualify at their regional conventions and game stores. So we had a few of those. So we've already got a bunch of people who have already qualified who are going to play on Saturday. But if you have not qualified and you want a chance, you can show up on Friday. It'll be an event in the system. You can sign up. We got 64 seats that you can come and play a day of Catan and maybe get into the national champion on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we take the top 16 from Saturday, and then you play your semifinal and then a final game, and then we'll have a new champion.
Oh my goodness.
I know, it's really excited. I've been very, very busy planning all these things on the other side of the world.
There's going to be a lot of organization involved in that.
Yes.
Now, when this is going on, like, are spectators allowed?
Yeah, we'll have an area where you can kind of watch. We don't want you to get too close, you know, to everything that's going on. It's because it's very distracting for the players.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So we usually have a little bit of a barrier in between that, but you'll be able to hang out and watch and ask us questions. Anything that you want to know about Catan or our tournament program. Stephanie, she runs our tournament program, and so she'll be really, really busy. We're going to live stream the final game on Sunday. So people will be able to see that last four, the group of four, fighting it out for their trip to Malta.
Oh my goodness. And where can you catch that when you're streaming it?
It'll be on, that's a good question because we haven't determined. Most likely it'll be on our Facebook.
Okay.
So if you go to Facebook and go to Catan Community, that's the official Catan, the English language Catan Facebook page. So if you go there, we'll have the information there. That's
excellent.
You know.
Okay, I have a completely sideways question, but like, if it's a faux pas, if I'm in the audience and I really want to cheer, like, is that distracting? Is it motivating?
It depends. If you're watching a table and then, you know, just like some amazing move just happens and everybody's, you feel free to just like at them. Yeah. So it's really fun. It is so fun. Yeah, you'll have a good time. We've got a lot of people who've been playing in the tournament program for many years. And then we've got a lot of people who are new as board games have kind of grown out in, you know, outside of just nerd conventions and small game stores, is that they're a lot more accessible for people to learn how to play games, libraries, you know, schools are building game programs. So it's really cool. I really, really love it.
Do you remember I'm saying back in the day, a little subjectively, but like, you'd go to a friend's house to play board games and all they had was Monopoly? That is not the case anymore. The amount of board games that people possess, and Catan is almost a household staple, at least in the communities that I visit and the households that I go to. And I think that is incredible. Is this one of the board games that got you started? Like, how?
No, I love telling this story because this is a story that really kind of touches a lot of different things. I played video games and I played like D&D a million years ago.
Okay.
So I wasn't really happy with a lot of the convention scene and wasn't really welcoming. I'm in my 50s. So this was a while ago. So, you know, a lot of times I wasn't really welcome in some of the communities, and, you know, it's like, girls, women, you don't know strategy, you're not welcome, that kind of thing. But the first game that really got me interested was Dominion. When Dominion came out, and so a friend got it for his birthday and was playing it, and I was like, "This is so cool." I had played Magic in the mid '90s, so around Ice Age is when I started playing Magic. So deck builders were familiar to me, so it was really easy for transition that. But I played even before that. I went to a board game day at a friend's house. And somebody's like, "Hey, let's teach you Catan." I was like, "Sure, I'll learn anything. I don't know anything." What I now know that they did was they had a modified Seafares expansion, and I got landlocked. I didn't really understand the whole thing about the numbers and understanding the probability of the dice rolls. And basically, they used me to just farm resources.
Oh my god!
Because they always put the robber on me, and they just took everything I had, and nobody would really teach me how to play. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't build anywhere. And so I, for a long time. And then when I finally started getting into games a few years later, I realized those people were just terrible people.
Yes.
They were just terrible people. And I had a horrible time. I was like, board games suck. Why do I want to do this? No way. And, here I am. That's my first day. It was just like, so what's your experience with Catan? It's like, it's not good. But luckily then, I got to play it and realized it's actually a really good game, and I enjoy it quite a bit.
With the right people, it is so much fun. And it doesn't even have to be the right people. It's just people that are willing to collaborate and cooperate with you. Yeah. So that makes all the difference. Don't farm resources from me. I'm trying to play the game. I just don't know what went wrong, Yeah,
it's really funny. One of the things that I love is that some of the top players you'll see is that, when I see people asking questions or talking on Reddit or wherever about, I bet in the national level, nobody trades. And that is not true at all. And some people will go into it and they'll want to raffle stomp and they'll want to be rude and cutthroat. Mm-hmm. But then you'll find out that a lot of people who play Catan really enjoy the companionship of playing. And so they might be, they're trying to win, but if you're really a big jerk, they could all turn on you. Mm-hmm. So, actually being kind and friendly. I was talking to previous world championship he won in 2016. And the one thing that everybody says about him, he's the nicest man I've ever met.
Oh, God.
And so you build these relationships. And of course, when we went to the Worlds in 2018, everybody wanted to beat him because they wanted to be the world champion, right? Mm-hmm. But he still went and had a good time. We did that in Germany in 2018. Nice. But yeah, it was just like the nicer you are while holding your own boundaries, the better time you're going to have when you're playing. And most people are just really, really friendly.
That's what my preconception of it would be. But then I think like tournaments, like that's where like the hardest of the hard go. They all have leather vests and chain necklaces. But no, I guess that's not the case at all. And that's really heartwarming. It makes you want to participate in all of these things because that like chances are you're going to have a good time.
Yeah, and it's nice. The more accessible, the way I feel is the more accessible games are to people, getting games in people's hands and welcoming them to the table, the more you diversify your community also. I learned a really great thing when I used to watch tournaments for War Machine back years ago. As I was talking to one of the press gangers, and I said, he told me, he says, I don't want to just stomp all over everybody in this competition. I want to teach them and raise them up to our level and have a better community, have a wider community of people to play with. And I thought that was a really nice thing to do.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I feel like I might not come from the best background. The first tournament I ever entered was a Smash tournament, like Smash Bros. Everybody was mean. Everybody. Yep. And it was like 14-year-old kids. And I'm like this 19-year-old. It was
the Smash community. Yeah. They're a lively bunch.
Oh yeah.
That's for sure.
So I'm happy that's not universal. Like there's just so many good pockets. And I really, really appreciate that.
Yeah, I think that's what we're really hoping to show with the casual Catan tournaments. It's like you'll get a medal if you win. But it kind of is an introduction to the program. And then you can see that it's not a bunch of people, who are ready to flip a table or anything like that. I mean, it can get pretty heated on the table talk sometimes, but basically, everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to go to Malta. So they're taking it seriously, but there's still a lot of laughs at the table, even when you get to the final table. And it can be really fun.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to find a way to watch that while I'm still doing things around the convention that day. Although you said if it's on Facebook, it'll be watchable later, which is fantastic.
Yeah. Well, and then we'll also have it up on our YouTube after we get back. Perfect. And we can throw it up so people can watch all the activities, because we're going to kind of film everything that's happening in the room, right? Because that's what we're going to do. And so we can let people know and they can see it. And we're also, if you want to come and learn more about our program, we have a Catan demo crew. There's going to be a link here, I believe, down below or somewhere that's going to show a link where you can sign up if you want to get paid to teach games to people.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, if you love Catan already and you want to get paid at Origins, then check that out.
That's really lovely. So this is a program that is through your studio. Like,
yeah, right through us. Yep.
Awesome. I really love that. And that's something like if I decide the day of when I arrive at the convention, I can just sign up.
Well, no.
Prove that okay.
Yeah, no, because
fire. What if I don't actually know how to play?
No, you have to get actually signed up as a contractor and get paid. So with the 1099 and all that stuff.
Okay, yes.
So,
yes.
But you're more than welcome to come and hang out and ask questions. We find a lot of really good people in the community that want to help out and give back to the community that way. So yeah, it's super fun.
Oh, that is fantastic. I have a quick question about accessibility because you mentioned a few times that there's going to be the English side of things. Do you support multiple languages, and will there be any additional support at Origins, or is it going to be
we do not, but all of the different, so we support all English. So we've got Canada, we've got Ireland, we've got UK, we've got South Africa, Australia, New Zealand. That's pretty much who we take care for. But the different distributors and publishers in different countries do run their own national program.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay. I didn't realize that was how it worked.
Yep. So we had at the last Worlds, we had 78 players from 43 countries.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So depending on how many players are in a national. So like Japan has one and there's 2,000 people. At that, they don't do all the qualifiers and stuff that we do, so they just have one big, massive blowout, and it's really, really cool.
Oh, that is so intense. That's fantastic, though. So, what are you most looking forward to this Origins Game Fair?
I'm looking at being able to talk to people more, talk to attendees more, with the new things that we're doing, and just get to meet a whole bunch of new people and see the faces that I haven't seen since COVID.
Yes.
Because we haven't been to Origin since 2019. So I am really, really ready to see all the faces that I adore.
Yes. Will you be playing any games at the convention? Is it work only?
Oh, it's work only. I mean, after hours, I could probably be talked into a game as long as it's not too late.
Yes.
I have to get up early in the morning and I'm old. So
I mean, everybody needs a good 8 hours sleep, no matter what.
One night in there somewhere is I'm going to just go grab some food and just take it to my room and just be quiet.
Yes. No background chatter. Just enjoy the quietude while it lasts, because it doesn't last very long.
Yeah. Especially a couple of us are actually coming off a 3.5 week on the road.
Oh my God.
So we'll be in, some of us are going to be in Malta because we're going to go take pictures if anyone wants to see those of the space. Because that's what you do with an event is you go do walkthroughs. So we're going to do that. We're going to go to catering. We're going to go see and talk to all kinds of people. And then we're going to Ireland to talk to the Irish Catan Association, which are some really fabulous people. And then we're at UK Games Expo. We leave UK Games Expo and go right to Origins.
Dang, you got easy time ahead of you.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's going to be so heckin' good, though.
Yeah. I am really, really excited. I mean, I'm not excited the travel part of it because travel is hard for everybody. But once I'm there, I'm great. It's going to be fun.
Excellent. Well, what else does Catan have set up for Origins Game Fair? Anything else that you'd like to talk about?
No, not really. I'm excited. I can't really talk about anything else because some of it is unannounced. So I would just recommend people drop by the booth or drop by the event hall and see what's going on. We also if people want, can come by because we're going to have lots of free things. So if you like little swaggy bits, drop by the event hall.
You'll find me there. I love free things.
It's like, here's a bag. Just throw this stuff in there.
Especially I like things. What's the word? Tchotchkes?
Yes, that is the word. Tchotchkes.
Yeah. I like things that I can't do anything with, Yeah. I just want to put it up on my wall, put it on a shelf, and then just remember when I got that for free.
I got this little thing. I don't even know where it is now, but it's like a little mini skateboard. And sometimes if I'm in a meeting and I'm really trying to pay attention because I've got ADHD. And so sometimes I just play back and forth. And it's just and it's a little branded throwaway kind of thing. but I love to play with it.
That's so perfect. Little things like that. And again, especially if it's branded, that's gonna make me remember the product. And
just like, oh my God, yeah, this was so much fun. Look, I got this little thing. And it'll always remind you of them.
Yes. So right now, are there any events that we have available to register for when that time does come available over at Tabletop?
I have got about 1/4 of the events submitted right now.
Okay.
So today and tomorrow, I'm really making a heavy push to get them all entered. So as soon as people can see them, you'll be able to see them and maybe plan your day. And then when they go live, then you'll be able to sign up for them.
Perfect. Well, that sounds absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. I love it.
If folks want to support this event, actually, before we even get to that, I do have a quick question.
Sure.
Are there still any qualifiers for the tournament?
That's a good question. If you visit catanstudio.com and then go look under the World Championship, you'll see a page for US in 2022, and you could click there and it'll show you the list of qualifiers.
Okay, that's perfect. And qualifier for both the casual and the other tournament?
No, that the casual tournaments are not going to be on the website, but
okay.
But just if you're looking for the qualifier one, I think we probably have a couple. I'm not really sure where they are.
Okay, no, that's perfect. Folks can go find that.
Yes.
And if folks want to support you online, like, what are your socials?
So we are Settlers of Catan on Instagram and Twitter, and then we're Catan Community on Facebook.
Perfect. And I imagine there's going to be a lot of relevant information coming up because y'all have a lot of things happening.
Yes, we do. And for people who can't make it to a qualifier this year, when Origin's over, we start the 2023 season. So you can talk to your local game store, talk to your local conventions and say, hey, you should run a Catan tournament. And then if it's a retail store, you just tell it, your retailer can just call up their Catan salesperson and say, hey, I want to run a tournament. What do I do? And we have a tournament kit they can get that has all the rules and sheets and all the software that you're going to need to do it. But a store could also run a casual one if they didn't want to run a full qualifier. If they just wanted to try it out for the first time and still use all the prizes and fun stuff.
That's fantastic, and that's easy as heck.
Yes.
Oh my goodness! Now, is this only within the U.S.?
Well, yes.
Okay.
That we support. Yeah.
Yep. No, that makes sense. As somebody who lives in Canada, I'm quite used to not having access to most of the cool things.
Yes. Well, we have been talking to Canada about the Canadian Championship, because there's a lot of different, whether we can go there, whether we can't go there, because that changes a lot. Mm-hmm. Anybody that lives, because I'm in the Seattle area, so I'm pretty in tune with what's going on, whether I can go to Vancouver or not for something, right? So I hope that soon-ish we'll have information if we're going to be able to do a tournament in Canada. And then when we're meeting with the Irish folks, then we'll find out if they're running their tournament. And of course, we're running the one at UK Games Expo with our friends from Mind Sports Olympiad.
That's going to be so heck
cool. And we're waiting on New Zealand and Australia to decide what they're doing.
Okay, that's fair. So many countries, we all got a lot of different things to figure out during these trying times.
Yeah. And if you're in another country that I haven't listed, is that if you go to Catan.com, you can actually find a listing of all the partners, and you can reach out to the partners. Like Devere does Spanish and Portuguese. So you can reach out to like Devere Mexico, Devere Portugal, and find out when they're going to be doing events.
I've learned pretty recently Brazil, we'll just focus on them for a second, hacking huge board game and tabletop communities.
Yes.
Massive.
The Brazilians are huge, giant fans of everything.
Yes.
Like music. If you ever want to see a live performance, is watch it being taped in Brazil, because they lose their minds. They are so passionate about it. I love it.
It just makes me really happy. Again, I love passionate people, whether it's about games, music, tabletop stuff. I live for that kind of thing.
Yeah, I love it. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that. It's just like, themes, music, convention. That's all stuff I love. And I consider myself very blessed and very fortunate to be doing what I'm doing.
What was your first convention that you ever went to?
My first convention was in the 70s for when I was in high school. It was for Mensa, American Mensa.
Isn't that like the smart people?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I'm not in it. But my mom is, so I got drug along. So anybody who does fandom conventions, if you've grown up with that world, you know that your parents drag you along and you learn how to help out at a convention. So I even run my own now. So I run my own tabletop convention out here. So it's just kind of in my blood, really.
That is so wild.
Yep.
From being dragged to, nerdy conventions to being able to host your own nerdy conventions. That's a lot to transition. That's fantastic.
It is. Yeah. It was nice. I got out of IT work and went into games back in whenever that was, the mid 2000s. And I was in my 40s when I started working in the games. So everybody has a chance to find their dream love job. And
I was also in IT for about 7 years and decided, you know what, tabletop games, that's going to be my jam. So
I think that's going to be pretty good.
On your journey. I'm going to see if you can take any similar steps.
Yep.
With that being said, you had mentioned earlier off camera that you worked for Green Ronin. If I'm allowed to ask, what was that like? Because they have the coolest games.
So it's really funny because my first video game job was how I got to know the Green Ronin folks, because Chris Primus, the CEO, also worked at the video game studio that I worked on. God. We met working on Pirates of the Burning Sea, which was an MO that was made out here in Seattle I started working there in 2000. I was a part of their community. So I'm that kind of person. I was actually hired out of the community to work for the company.
Oh, I love that.
And that happens a lot with like MMOs and stuff where you have forums where you're really invested. And so I flew out and went to PAX in 2006 when it was still in Bellevue at the Maidenbower. And I had a blast. And half the people thought that I was already hired because I was just talking to people, telling them about the game, even though I had still never seen it. So I started building my connections then. And then I've worked on a wide variety of online games.
That's amazing. Do you have any favorite? We're going to ask your top 3. Favorite board game? Doesn't have to be where you work. Favorite tabletop game and favorite video game?
Let's see. My favorite board game. Gosh, that changes so often.
Whatever it is for this year and or this month.
You know what? I really enjoyed my leader games. Fort.
Oh, I'm not.
So you're like friends building a fort together. But yeah. So I played that, and I just can't wait to play again. It's really, really a fun, cute game. So yeah, and all the art they do is so good.
Is this the company that did Root?
Yeah.
The RPG? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, they also
we have Root. We have Oath
games.
Yeah. So yeah, and then my favorite video game for right now is Valheim. I am all things Valheim. I love Valheim so very much.
I couldn't deal with dying and losing my stuff. I was too sad to continue, and it happened enough times. Like I'd lose it in the water, I'd lose it to monsters I can't go back to, and it was just like you gotta stop.
Yeah, it's nice playing with our small server and helping each other out. And I'm the person who goes out and chops trees for hours and lets everybody else build things. I'm like, can you build something for me? Because I have no sense of spatial awareness, so I can't build things. So, and then we've got the people who really like to go out there and fight things. So it works out.
Oh, that's beautiful. Again, like a community, you make it work. Everybody has their part.
Yep. Yeah. That and Cozy Grove, which is everybody. So you're like a scout, like a spirit scout. And that you have this island and you meet all of these ghost bears. Oh my gosh. And I thought it looked really familiar, but it's made by the team that made Alpha Bear. And yeah, I know it's just small games. I love cozy games, and I love games that make you feel good. And it's really interesting with the story. I highly recommend it.
I noticed this is on the Switch, so I might buy it.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Anything that I can play a game not sitting at my desk sometimes is just really nice.
Yeah. And I guess my favorite RPG of the moment is The Expanse. Because that's what I'm playing every Wednesday with on Twitch with our group Abraxas Precipice. Abraxas's Precipice is where I can say it.
Name as well?
No, it's the Twitch name is Only Play Wizards, and John, who's our GM, runs D&D, and he runs a different different kinds of things. But
Okay.
I am having a lot of fun playing The Expanse.
The nerd in me just has to ask a couple of these questions.
Sure.
What class are you playing? Are there levels? And what is your best accomplishment as this character?
Oh gosh. Let's see. Well, so I'm technically like now. So I was kind of like a quartermaster. I was in the UNN, so I was in the Navy, and then I left and I opened up a shop with my wife on Ceres. She's from Ceres, and I ended up trying to get some business by going to Tycho, and we met the Mormons, and things didn't go well. And so
What's the Mormons?
Yeah. So, because this starts before, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but this is like, it starts in the very early before everything really kicks off of what's going on in The Expanse.
Oh, I love
so
that. Okay.
Yeah. So we're in year 2 right now. And so it's 2 years after Eros is what we're playing right now. So that, for if you know The Expanse, you'll know exactly what that means. Yep. So that's what we're playing right now. And so it's been interesting. I think, the coolest thing, well, you know what? We did a really badass space battle. Not this last time, but the one before. And it was our first space battle, like real space battle, because most of everything we do is all role play.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Play my games.
Yeah. So it's a lot of heavy duty role playing. So we were doing a lot of catching up. We've had crew members die. But the player came back as a different character, or people who couldn't stick around and, because real life got out of control or whatever. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's been really fun. And as we bring in new characters, then we have to reestablish, relationships and build new relationships. And, but now I'm the pilot.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, so I'm the captain and the pilot. Cool. And then my XO does all of the coordinating of, shooting things.
Yes, that's a lot of responsibility on your hands.
Yeah. So I'm kind of like in a lot of ways, kind of the face putting on, trying to make deals, because I know all these people from the UN and Navy. My dad's an admiral, blah, blah, blah. So it's been really, really fun. I really enjoy it because I love The Expanse in any form.
Yes. I feel like you're a more competent Holden from the sounds of it.
Yes. Although, it's funny because on screen, when I've got my background behind me and everything, because the way his face reflects light, his actual skin reflects the light they have in there, is that I look as pale as that, like on camera. I mean, I do right now. So it's like, yes, sometimes I'm like, today I was Holden white.
Oh my gosh. Yep. Oh, yeah. That's so good.
But my regular D&D characters, whenever I play, I actually have like 12 characters I've made that don't have a home for a game yet. Oh but gosh, I mostly play
that make characters because you're so in love with the concept.
I'm like, you know what? How do I make Sailor Moon be, a character class? How do I make Sailor Moon in D&D? D&D Beyond, I'm like, new character time. Let's make something. But they're all different themes. So like I have like a pixie character that looks like Susie Sue from Susie and the Banshees. She's my little goth fairy. And so I do that. So mostly I play druids and clerics.
We are complete opposites.
Yes.
Interesting. I like to lean barbarian or warlock.
Yeah.
Very, very different classes. But I love that you've had to make Sailor Moon because I've done the same. She ended up being like a warlock mixed with a rogue. It was an interesting combination. I'm currently playing a pixie, not quite goth, but full of chaos. Right. I based them off of Jinx from Arcane, that animated show that was based off of League of Legends that came out a little while ago. Because again, when I make characters, I fall in love with a piece of media or something that I know, and I have to take that and put it into whatever tabletop game that I'm playing.
Yeah, I made one of my favorites that I haven't gotten in a game yet was The Last Kingdom, which is based off the book series from Bernard Cowell. And so there's a character in here who's a priest. And so, but he's also is not afraid to get in there with a club and bash somebody if needed or whatever. So, but I made a traditional cleric with a club and the whole thing. Yeah. So I need a game to get into and play this character. It's
hearing is sometime during your off time. I'm gonna come and find you at Origins Game Fair. I'm gonna hold out a tablet with D&D Beyond, let you log in, and we'll play a game.
I love it. I love it. I'm like, I'll just print out all my characters. Here you go. Pick one.
Pick one. As long as there are a variety of levels, we can make it work.
Yeah. I've got a cassowary Aarakocra, and so it's a fighter, but he's a cassowary bird, which those murder birds.
It's the ones,
Yeah. The big mean murder birds. Yeah. So
stab thing, like they put things on spikes.
With their feet, they've got like their talon is like they poke with their talon.
I played a lot of Root a little while ago, and I managed to learn a lot of animal facts. Because that game just kind of gives you space to, I'm a raccoon. Here are some horrible raccoon facts, and it's my job to find a way to incorporate that into the game now.
Yep.
A lot of animal facts that can be used. I never get tired of those.
Like otters. Don't really get to know otters.
They're not cute on the outside. That's when it ends. I don't want
to. You're evil on the inside.
Otters and dolphins.
They're cute where they are over there. Just like stay over there.
I don't want to one.
Nope.
I don't want to go near one.
Nope.
And for viewers, honestly, just research it your own. I don't want to have to. If you love otters and dolphins, I'm going to let you still love them.
Yeah, we don't want to take this too dark.
I used to have binders with like dolphins on them as a kid. I loved them.
Oh yeah, Lisa Frank kind of stuff. It's like, it's so cute. Look at all these dolphins.
And then I grew up.
And you're like, oh,
they're not as great. Oof.
As great as I thought you were. Thanks.
So I just have a couple of, again, we've done the professional talk. We've had some of the fun talk. We just have some of the silly questions to ask you about, just like some of your convention experiences. So when you go to a con, what is your preferred footwear? Flip-flops, Crocs, sandals, sneakers?
I usually wear hiking shoes, or like not hiking, but like hiking boots. But I just I wear comfortable athletic shoes made for walking and standing. So that's what I wear that's my footwear that I wear to every convention.
Fair. You need something with good sole support because you do a lot of standing. You don't realize standing and walking.
Yep. Yeah. Especially Gen Con.
Yeah.
So big.
There's so many spaces to get lost in and to find where you're going.
Yes.
What is your bag wear? Do you have a backpack, a suitcase, a briefcase, a fanny pack?
Well, I take because I have to bring my laptop and all that stuff. So I carry a backpack, but I leave it at my station, and then I put on a fanny pack. Yeah. So I can put my phone in there, my wallet, and just like sometimes I'll hand out random pins, get little Catan pins that say stuff when I see people. It's like, oh, you're wearing a Catan shirt. Here, have a pin, kind of thing. So I'll just like load up and hand out freebies as I go through.
Do you usually go there wearing like your swag, like your shirt, like you have now with the logo?
I do while I'm working.
Yeah.
So anytime I'm working, I'm in this, or we have another one that's a really cool polo. It looks like you're on Star Trek.
Oh my gosh.
So we look like we're wearing little outfits because it kind of comes across this way.
Yes.
We could put some,
you need the little dots. Indicators.
Yeah, that would be really cute. Because we have enough Star Trek nerds on our team. So yeah, it'd be really cute.
Iron the mod. Yes, that's a must.
I like that.
Time.
Yeah.
I hope you can do that.
Yeah. But if not, I'm just in t-shirts. Yeah. Just basic t-shirts. Oh yeah. Star Trek Catan. Yeah. We have that.
Fun. Yes.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I think you can probably see it behind me. I think the Star Trek Catan is over there.
Probably. There's so many boxes.
Yes.
My goodness. I mean, it's a fitting background. That's that's like your actual shelf, right?
That's my actual Catan shelf. Yes.
Dang. Very impressive, but it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I love looking for some of the older ones when I go to a game store that sells used games, because then I can pick up things that are out of print, that people have gotten rid of for various reasons. And I just picked up the Catan Struggle for Rome.
Oh.
Which I'd never even heard of it. And
no, I haven't.
Yeah. So it was published by Mayfair. So I was like, oh, I have this one in my collection now. Yes.
I that's such a nice thing to collect too, because it just makes sense.
Yes.
That's really sweet. At a con, how do you normally fuel yourself? Water, caffeine, other?
Water is pretty much it. I live with water. I have water bottles stashed all over me and everywhere because you never know when you're not going to be around a place to fill them.
Yep.
So I do that. I start off the morning with decaf coffee and doctor's orders. So,
but I get it.
Yeah, but it's not bad. Get started with that. It's a little bit of caffeine, and then it's water all day. Nice. And then I usually try to keep nuts. I've done that less and less because of people's allergies, especially peanut allergies. So I try to bring protein, like protein snacks, like turkey snack sticks and things like that.
Meat or something.
Yeah. So meat and fruit.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Or if you do need, it's like you can get like little things of little packets of gummy bears, and things like jelly beans.
Yeah.
And so then you can do a quick one without sitting there eating like a whole big old candy bar or something. It's just like, I'm just going to get a quick bump here.
I like that idea. The only downside for me is there's no snacking on gummy bears. It's all or nothing.
That's pretty much true. It's just like, whenever we go to Germany, everybody stocks up on the Haribo, because those are the original real. Yeah. So we all stock up on all that kind of stuff anytime we go to another country.
I need to add that to like my personal list of things to accomplish. Just try like the OG gummy bears.
Yes, they are so good.
Damn. I didn't know how badly I needed that.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Well, alas, I'm not going to Germany before I see you, so I can't bring you any.
That's fair. Yeah, I got to add it to my to-do list in life now.
Yep.
I'm not setting the bar too high at all. It's for gummy bears. It's absolutely worth it.
Well, Kelly is going. If I can convince Kelly, she's not going to Origins though, so maybe a Gen Con. If I can get some before Gen Con, and you're going to Gen Con, then we'll talk gummy bears.
Yes. Oh, that's fantastic. Well, that is pretty much about my list of random questions to ask for con goers. It's usually the usual. So far, nobody has told me they walk around with a briefcase. A little disappointing. I almost want to go out and purchase one of those metal ones that people usually do trades with in the movies with like large amounts of money and just get my content in there.
I did see someone carry one. I was running games for Green Ronin. I think I was running Dragon Age. And there was some guys at another table, and one of the guys had all of his GM stuff in a briefcase.
Yes, that's so perfect. You could fit your laptop in there too.
You could, yeah.
In theory, everything you need: laptop, dice, papers, tablet. You're good.
I'd rather have it on my back, but hey, you do you, dude.
You want to be hands-free, so I can touch everything while I'm there, like the dice and everything I need to buy. Oh, that does bring me to another question. Whenever you go to a con, is there one thing that you have to buy everywhere you go?
So I'm a dice goblin.
Yes.
And I only have these dice in front of me right now.
Only.
So
there's like 8 of them.
Yeah. 3, 6, 9, 12. Well, these are the ones I use for the Expanse. But so imagine, if you will, the Calyx. And I have a Calyx drawer that's full of dice.
Oh my God.
Yes. I have a Dice Envy affiliate.
Oh, cool.
So that's all. It's like, you're an affiliate, but you keep spending all the money. It's like, yes, that's exactly what I do. And I'm a big fan of Level Up and Die Hard Dice. And then I also buy from a few people on Etsy, but I buy every year. We get the dice from Chessex.
Yeah.
I have lots of dice.
I have to buy dice every time I go to a convention. I often don't get to use them because I have too many dice at this point, but I'm going to buy them.
Yep. Yeah. Yes. And I back Kickstarters for dice all the time. I did Extra Life, the Extra Life tabletop for last year, because I hit a certain amount of money. So they sent me this really nice, it's like a blue metal box. And when you open up, there's lights inside. And it had like a rainbow color of all the dice, and they're like sharp edge dice that are all different colors and shiny inside, glittery.
Gorgeous.
Oh, so nice.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
I really, really am jealous of that.
So probably on my Twitter, I'll just take pictures of dice and, I'll do one of those. Here's a thread on my dice.
I will subscribe to that thread.
There you go.
I need all the dice. I'm waiting on, I backed a Kickstarter for, oh God, if I want to do them justice, Greenleaf Geek, Canadian, which is what appealed to me. And she's coming out with cat dice.
Yep.
Little space dice and little ginger cat dice. I mean, there's black cats too, but I love my ginger cats.
Yes.
So I'm waiting on those and I'm very excited.
Yeah. I got a Kickstarter delivery. And I was just like, oh, and my husband was like, is that a game? No. Is it dice? Because I was like, no, it's something pretty. And he's like, is it dice? I'm like, no. And he's like, whatever would somebody send you then? I've never seen, if it's not a game, a dice, or a cookbook, that's it. I'm just like, it's jewelry. It's D&D class-based jewelry. From Vizile? Yes. So I got the druid set. So a little necklace and charms. It's so pretty.
My goodness. The only thing that stopped me was there's nothing for barbarian. Because again, what do you really do for barbarians? Like, is it a fist? And that co-op's other thing. Yeah. So it was. Yep. Oh, I almost got the rogue one because it was like the super really pretty dagger. Yep. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was super pretty. And it's just really lightweight. I wish I had it in the room. I would just show it to you.
Yeah, that's okay. All right. Yep. Well, I think this probably wraps it up. I got to ask like all of my personal questions.
Oh yeah, and I will talk and talk and talk. So, especially with the pandemic and I work at home all the time and I never leave the house. So I'm always happy. So like, hey, do you want to talk? And I was like, yes.
Especially when we have things in common, like, oh no, you like dice, you like nerdy jewelry, and you play like games. Okay, well.
And I like my pajamas.
Fan. Okay. Can't relate as much with that one, but I can support it,
Yep.
I love
my pajamas.
Slippers. Give me some fuzzy slippers any day.
That's what my character on The Expanse does, is because I feel the belters never have anything nice.
Yeah.
And this is not expensive. So I brought fuzzy slippers for everybody on my crew. And anybody that's like going along for the ride we're transporting somebody is like, they can have fuzzy slippers.
Oh my gosh.
And enjoy those. Yeah.
Oh, that's those things. I feel like poor belters probably don't take off their shoes a lot.
Yep.
So like the idea of giving them some good, well-fitting fuzzies, like just extra long, like that's a big deal.
It's nice fuzzy slippers. So, when we're on station and you want to just like hang around in your room or whatever, up on your fuzzy slippers.
Again, the role-playing aspect. That's what makes tabletop gaming just everything,
It is.
All right. Well, one more time, if you want to plug Catan Studio and anywhere that people can find and support that work.
Sure. Yeah, we're on Instagram and Twitter as Settlers of Catan, and we're on Facebook as Catan Community. And you'll be able to see all of the fun things that we're going to do. We'll have a booth, so you can find us there. And then I am, as we speak, right before here, I was still submitting events. So we're going to have lots of events for you to sign up for. And then you can just come find me in the event hall. I'll be there the whole time.
Yes, perfect. You'll be the person with the fanny pack giving away pins from time to time.
That is exactly going to be me.
Excellent. And folks, do not forget that event registration opens May 21st at 1 p.m. Eastern. You'll have to convert that to your own time zones to figure it out. But May 21st, that is the day that you want to jump on your computer, get on your phone, tabletop.events, look for Origins Game Fair, and there you can sign up to all of the events that you want to attend because there's going to be some really, really good ones.
So exciting. I love this show.
Yes. So until then, folks, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Origins Game Fair. I have been your host, B. Zelda. If you'd like, you can follow me on Twitter as @B_Zelda, and we'll see you next week to talk about some more fabulous things. Until then, take care.